Hear me now. All right. Okay. So let me try that again. Shall I? Thank you, Natasha, for putting up all of the stop signs and telling me there was no sound. Oh man. Okay. That was not intentional. Let's try it again. Let me do a quick bumper and I will give you the monologue. Oh man, how about that? Okay. Take two. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. Prepare to have your mind blown because we're diving headfirst into the deep end of failure. And we're doing a cannonball. Now, I know what you're thinking. Failure, that's like a party crasher of success, right? Well, hold on to your hats, because we're about to flip the script, okay? You've heard those feel-good quotes like Winston Churchill saying success is basically just a series of failures done with flair. Well, folks, I got more flair than Joanna working at Tchotchkes. Too old a reference? Office Space? No one? Okay. Anyway, then there's this Billie Jean King, the queen of tennis wisdom, who's like, losing is just a tennis match. It's not a root canal. Okay, maybe she didn't exactly say that, but you get my drift. Failure is not a life sentence. It's just a spicy detour on the highway of dreams. Now, there's an article, and I know what you're thinking, an article. Who reads those anymore? Well, this one's a game changer, okay? It's all about failing better, which is like failing, but with a PhD. Instead of just stumbling through life like a drunken giraffe, we're going to stumble with purpose. They're calling it intelligent failures, which sounds like an oxymoron, but trust me, it's a thing. It's failing like you mean it. Failing with finesse, failing like it's an Olympic sport. Imagine you're on a date and within minutes you realize you'd rather be marooned on a deserted island with a volleyball than spend another second with this person. Now, instead of cursing your luck, you're raising a flag of triumph. You just discovered a potential new landmine to avoid in the dating minefield. It's not a failure, it's a discovery mission with a built-in eject button. But hold on to your hats, because we're not stopping there. Let's talk about all the folks that failed their way to success. Yeah, you know the inventors who blew up their labs more times than a kid's chemistry set? Or those explorers who got lost in the wilderness so many times they practically became tour guides for wrong turns? These people failed like it was their day job, and guess what? They ended up changing the world. So here's the deal, my fellow adventurers. Let's stop treating failure like the black sheep of success and start treating it like the life of the party. Let's high-five our mistakes and belly flop into the unknown, because if failure is the price we pay for progress, then damn it, I'm slapping down my credit card and saying, charge it, give me all them miles. Let's fail better, fail harder, fail with so much gusto that even success gets jealous. Who's with me? Cheers to failing forwards, my friends. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show. Best censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. Well, all right. How about that? That was not intentional, believe it or not. I do a monologue about failure, and my mic is out. And I know you're thinking, hey, Tom, I thought you made a checklist that you go through every day before you go live. And I'm like, well, I did make a checklist that I usually go through every day. I taught a couple of classes this morning, and I subbed for somebody. And so I was a little late getting back home to do this live stream. And so I skipped that checklist. I'm sure it'll be fine, is what I said. And there we go. You keep repeating lessons until you actually learn them, right? So, anyway, the thing is, we have this real negative perception of failure. And we need to reframe failure as a source of discovery, personal development, okay? Now, we have this instinctual fear of failure. And we have this pressure to maintain a flawless image, right? Because I have this flawless image, particularly on social media. But anyway, this idea from this article is about intelligent failures, and it talks about how you can explore new territory and build insight, right, by having failure. And this is different, okay, than like preventable mistakes and accidents. This is just embracing the failure, replacing fear and shame. And instead of fear and shame, you're now curious and you're growing, okay? That's what we're doing. We're reframing this whole thing. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. And so you too can take calculated risks and fail better. Now, I didn't realize this until right before I was started, but there's actually a famous quote. When I was putting together the graphics, I looked here and I'm like, what does this say? Fail better. Samuel Beckett. Apparently, this is his most famous quote. I'd never heard of it before, but it's ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Could you hear that? That was the loudest car that's ever gone by. Oh my God. Let me try the quote again. Sorry about that. It threw me off. Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Fail again. Fail better. That's Samuel Beckett. So yeah, I want to talk about failing. This came up for a number of reasons. I like the idea of reframing things. Okay, I just got this Scott Adams book, Reframe Your Brain, and it's all about that. In fact, I'm not doing a live stream tomorrow. However, I may be posting, I'm going to try to post a video review of this book tomorrow. So do me a favor and check that out. Hit the like button, share it, all that good stuff. I would appreciate that. But here I want to show you something that's been happening with my channel. Okay, so if we look at this, this is me over the last year. Now, over the last year, I started at the beginning of this year doing live streams Monday to Friday. We got 35,000 views, fine. 3,500 hours of watch time. Look at this. I have lost 170 subscribers this year, and I've made a whopping $10.50 on YouTube. So losing people every single week probably would be considered a failure, right? That's probably a failure. However, I am taking this and moving forward in a different way, right? Just because they've hidden me in the algorithm and, you know, no one really gets to see it. What I wanted to do is, I was not good. I was very afraid of live streaming before I started live streaming this year. I was very nervous that I would say something that I shouldn't say. I did have a lot of tics, right? I would say, and I feel like I've gotten better because I've worked at my presentation skills, and now it appears like this is natural to me. It's not. It's not. But I feel like I've worked and I've gotten a lot better at this, even if I've lost a whole bunch of subscribers and the channel is like dying, right? So in one case, yeah, failure, but I'm accepting it and I'm taking what I've learned so far this year and I'm doing some new projects. I wanted to announce them, but I want to make sure that I have all it's really hard to brand yourself. Like, so I'm getting a new channel, and I just want to make sure I get all the social media accounts for it before I say what it is. But hopefully on Friday, I'll be able to announce a new project for you. So thanks for that. We got a number of stories to get through today. And I'll end up with some good news and tell you a little something else that's been happening with me. And the first story has to do with some crazy stuff that's happening in London. You know, folks, in London, they've got this new anti-pollution charge on older vehicles. It's like a tax for driving around when you can't afford a new car. Yeah. They even installed license plate reading cameras to catch you in the act. And guess what? Some rebels, calling themselves the Blade Runners, are taking those cameras down faster than a politician can flip-flop on climate change. So Here's the story. Opponents of London's anti-pollution charge on older vehicles have vandalized, damaged, or stolen hundreds of license plate reading cameras. This act is carried out by vigilantes known as Blade Runners, showcasing the heightened emotions surrounding the city's ultra-low emission zone, ULEZ. And I know I said London's ULEZ zone. That's like a PIN number. I realize that, but I did it anyway, right? The ULEZ, aimed at reducing air pollution, linked to thousands of deaths annually, citation needed, imposes a daily charge on older gas and diesel vehicles. While supporters view it as a crucial measure, critics deem it as financial burden for suburban residents who rely on cars. The issue has become a political flashpoint with accusations of exploiting opposition for political gain. The expansion of the ULEZ to cover all of Greater London has intensified the controversy, leading to protests and opposition from various groups. So yeah, this is a massive deal over there in London. They've made the entire Greater London this zone, and basically you can't drive a diesel vehicle, which is what I have, right? For the longest time, having a biodiesel vehicle was the green thing to do. It's the green thing to do. That's why I have one. Now they're saying, nope, no diesel, no biodiesel, none of that. And if your car is like more than 10 years old, you're going to have to pay the man, baby. You're going to have to pay up. And I think it's about $16, something like that, a day. So if you use your vehicle to drive to the store and you go by one of these stupid cameras and they catch you, boom, $16. Wow. We've been hearing conspiracy theories, right, about 15-minute cities and all this kind of stuff. That's what it looks like is happening. It looks like they're trying it out in London. And believe me, if this works in London, we will have it here in Portland. Guaranteed. Because Portland is on the cutting edge of everything awful. Any stupid policy, any stupid left-wing policy, Portland, Oregon is the testing ground for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they install these cameras. I wish I could round up some people. Now, I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything illegal. We're just talking hypothetically here. But we got these speed cameras here and these red light cameras. And they're terrible. I've been caught on them before. I got caught on a red light camera and I knew it was a red light camera. But I was getting close to the intersection and like I was slowing down because it was going to change. And then I'm like, I don't think I can stop in time. So then I went through it and I got the ticket. It was like $135, right? Crazy. So it'd be great if we could gather some vigilantes here to go out and destroy all the cameras. I cheers to the Blade Runners in London for not putting up with this crap. I encourage you wholeheartedly to keep up the good fight, right? I'm allowed to encourage things in other countries, right? Just want to make sure I'm not breaking any of the rules here. But I think it's great that they are taking down these license plate reading cameras in London. So hopefully this will not become a thing. Because if it is, they're definitely going to have it here. And I can't afford to pay $16 just to drive somewhere. That's insane. That's insane. But that's what they're doing. And you got to look at who's doing it. And then you got to look at what are they using. You know, they're saying that this is good for the environment. Well, if you don't have enough of these cameras and you know where the cameras are, right? So then you will just zigzag around, go down side streets to avoid the cameras. Well, wouldn't that use more fuel? Wouldn't that pollute more? Of course it would. This is a terrible, terrible idea. And in my opinion, I like to be nuanced usually, But screw this idea. I hope it dies. I never want to see it. So I encourage everyone in London, keep smashing those cameras. Kill those cameras. Because otherwise, if it happens in London, it's going to spread around the world. And it's going to just be more authoritarian control over you. For anyone that can't afford a brand new car. Crazy. Crazy. Anyway, next I got a prescription for you. So you know, folks, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but now they're saying a doctor's prescription keeps the apples coming. Yeah, there's a study that found that when doctors prescribe fruits and vegetables, people actually eat them. Shocking, I know, right? It's like we've cracked the code to getting adults to eat their greens. Just slap a prescription label on the carrot and suddenly it's the hottest new medicine in town. So remember, if you're feeling down, forget Prozac. Ask your doc for a good old banana prescription. Side effects may include increased energy and improved health. Yeah. So there's a study that found that prescribing fruits and vegetables to people at risk of heart disease led to increased consumption and health improvements. Participants in produce prescription programs showed better body mass index, blood sugar, and blood pressure levels, and reduced food insecurity. The study includes over 3,800 participants and suggests these programs could enhance health, although more rigorous research is needed. The American Heart Association's Food is Medicine initiative aims to support further trials. So I want to do one little side note here. The correct way to pronounce prescription, okay, is with the PRE pronounced like pray. Okay, so the word prescription comes from the Latin word prescriptus, which means written in advance. The PRE in prescription is a prefix meaning before or in advance. So it's from prescriptus. I have been saying this wrong my whole life. And I'm one of those people that I just thought it was prescription. Prescription. That's what I always would say. And I still have to think about it when I talk about it now, but it's prescription. Just a little side note for you there. But this is true. You know, if a doctor tells you to do something, you're more likely to do it. And, you know, we saw this over the lockdowns, right? The doctors would tell us to do stuff. We'd do it. I actually asked my doctor last time I went in for my yearly thing. I asked him to prescribe me to do yoga for 30 days. And he's like, what? I'm like, well, just tell me that you're prescribing yoga for me for 30 days. And he said, okay, Tom, you need to do yoga for 30 days. And I said, okay, thank you. And I did it. Now, I know that that's just some kind of mental thing, but I've been trying to do yoga for a long time. And I said, well, let me ask my doctor to tell me to do it. And guess what? I did, right? So that does kind of work. And that's one of the things is we don't always need to do things that are logical, right? If something works, do it. And if the doctor telling you to eat your vegetables will get you to eat more vegetables, then, you know, I'm in favor of it, right? So anyway, that's some good little motivation. Let me know if that works. And now I got something a little interesting for you now. So this is something that just involves me. I have been getting these warnings every single day from YouTube that they don't like my links to the Internet Archive. And every day they remove my content because I leave links in the description of my videos. And that's what I do. I want to leave a link to every story that I talk about. That's important to me. so that if I do a story and you're like, oh, I'd like to learn more about that story, you can just go to the description of the video and I have an archived link in the description. Well, what happens is the Internet Archive does not work perfectly 24 hours a day, okay? Sometimes the archive doesn't work. Sometimes it's down. And so now YouTube has this new bot, this new system that goes through and checks all the links. And if the link doesn't work, I think this is how it works, then they accuse me of spam. They're accusing me of misleading links, and they don't want that on their platform. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do, because it takes me about 15 minutes every day to challenge this to get the video reinstated, because they removed the video because there's links in it that may not necessarily work 24 hours a day, right? And so I think maybe I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. If you've got a good idea, let me know in the comments. But I think perhaps for a while now, I will just put the links on the Rumble video and not on the not on YouTube. Is Rumble live? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, but this is just a big hassle. And you know, if you don't make videos on YouTube, you're probably not aware of it. But I got to deal with this garbage every single day now that it gets removed because they don't like a link to an article that I talk about. Ugh, frustrating. But I just wanted to share that with you. I think for a while, at least for a week, you know, a couple weeks, I'm just going to put the archive links on Rumble. And if you're watching on YouTube and you want to check out any of the archive links, it'll just go over to the Rumble video and you can get it there. Because it takes me too much time every day to keep getting these stupid notices from here. So anyway, I just thought I'd give you an update on that. We need some good news, so let us get to the good news of the day. Did I never... I got this backwards. Oh well. Didn't get my graphics right today. What are we going to do? Anyway, you know, folks, researchers are turning brain signals into audible speech. Yeah, they've cracked the code to make your thoughts actually audible. Finally, a way for your inner monologue to bore everyone else too. Just kidding. This is great news for those that cannot talk now for whatever reason. So researchers at Radboud University and UMC Utrecht transformed brain signals into audible speech using implants and AI. They predicted spoken words within 92 to 100% accuracy, offering potential for paralyzed individuals to communicate. By directly translating brain activity into speech, even mimicking the speaker's voice, this breakthrough shows promise in brain-computer interface. The technology's current limits include predicting individual words versus full sentences, but progress is being made toward more complex communication. So this is really, really cool. This is really cool for those people that are not able to speak. You know, there's lots of reasons why people might not be able to speak. Even people that may have had a stroke or something, they're no longer able to communicate audibly anymore. That with this implant, you're able to then speak again. It's incredible, right? We're living in the future. The future is now. I don't think I would want an implant if I were able to speak. And because I don't think I'd want all the thoughts in my brain just being shared with everyone out there, you know, like some kind of Tourette's or something. But yeah, this is really great news. And if you know anyone that is not able to communicate audibly, this may be something to look into. It might actually be a be a game changer for them. So I think that's a really good news for some people. And that's what we need. So we need some good news, right? So anyway, that's all I have for you today. Stick around for the after show. I'll go through all your comments. And I will be back on Friday, a Fact Check Friday. Join me here live. And like I said, I'm going to review this book. I'm going to try to put a review of this book out tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Anyway, I'll see you in the after show or on Friday. Until then, peace. All right. Well, yes. Thank you, Natasha, for all of the stop signs telling me there was no sound. I was not looking at the comments while I was reading my monologue. So, gotta work on it. Gotta work on it. But anyway, thanks. Thank you very much for that. Spicy Detour does sound like fun. I like Spicy Detour. That was a fun turn of phrase. Who was the guy who always said, I meant to do that? Yeah, that's the ticket on SNL. That was John Lovitz, and he was playing a character, and I think it was Tommy Flanagan, I think was the character's name. Like, yeah, that's the ticket. Me and my my girlfriend, Morgan Fairchild. That's, I wish I can do impressions, but Tasha says, flawless images are overrated. I agree. Yeah, oh, Tommy Flanagan. Yes, Lucid Moments knew it. John Lovitz was a Tommy Flanagan character. So either that's it or we're both remembering wrong. Flanagan was the master of failing. He was indeed. $10.50, you're worth more than $10, Tom. Yeah, well, that's you see why I do this, right? It's all for that $10. The no zone for ozone. Okay. We'll fact check your channel announcement Friday. Yeah, you need to fact check my announcement. It's funny, you know, like you have these goals and, you know, they don't always follow through exactly how you want. Good for those vigilantes. We need to step back from crazy 1984 developments. By the way, the term memory holes came from 1984. Good. Have you read 1984? I was thinking, just as a side note, I wanted to like just make an audio recording of me reading it. I thought that would be kind of neat, but because I do think that that's probably the most important book right now in current time. $16 a day is $5,840 a year. Yeah, that's a carbon tax. That's excessive. And the thing is, it's only for the people that can't afford to get brand new cars. Well, what's better for the environment? If we just think about this for a minute. What's better for the environment? I have a 20-year-old biodiesel car. I get over 40 miles to the gallon, okay? Or someone that gets a new car every 3 years, and now they're still not getting the mileage that I get. They're still getting under what I get, because I'm getting 40 miles to the gallon. But in those times, they've gone through 6 cars. Well, see, building 6 cars, that's a lot of resources, right? We should be encouraging people to keep using things until they're done, because it's not just the pollution that the vehicle makes, but it's also the pollution that creating a new vehicle also makes as well. I'm glad for taking down cameras. I don't like public property like streetlights getting vandalized, but trying to fee people into compliance / submission, I can get behind accidental surveillance damage. Yeah, I was thinking, I agree with you on that, Jesse. I was thinking, what can be done about like these red light cameras? And I was thinking just some kind of like hair gel or something, just like a little scoop of hair gel. If you could just like throw it and hit it on it, that way, I guess it wouldn't do any permanent damage, but it certainly wouldn't be able to take pictures. I don't know. If you got any good ideas on how to take down these cameras, let me know. But they're not just like covering them up; they're just destroying them, which I salute. I must have learned how to pronounce that from a cat. Okay. My big brother taught me how to do what I wanted while pretending to listen to our parents. Okay, that's good. I have a margarita prescription I'm refilling tomorrow. Yes, how are we going to make Margarita Thursday a thing if I don't do videos on Thursday? Well, we'll have to figure that out. But I agree. Margarita Thursday, let's make it a thing. No doctors for me. I might consider a functional medicine doctor, but otherwise, I think the others are clueless. Yeah. Put them in pinned comments, maybe. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Put the links in the pinned comment. Thank you, Smickles. That's a great idea. And I think that's what I will try to do. I will put the links to the articles in a pinned comment. I usually don't even bother with pinned comments, but that's a great idea. Thank you for that. Tell your kids the doctor wrote a prescription for those beets. Ba-dum-bum. Maybe you need to put the links in your own pinned comment instead of the description. Yes, exactly. We have a bot too, Apothecary John, ba-dum-bump. Yeah. No, we all love Apothecary John. He is fantastic. I appreciate him. Yes, Smickles, great minds think alike, indeed. YouTube has become a pain in the ass, Tom. Exactly. My brain signals already turn into speech. Well, indeed. Silly pronunciation detail, it's Utrecht. Utrecht. Oh, was that the school? Ah, Utrecht. Yes, normally, if I'm not teaching prior to my class, I normally like to Google how to pronounce any name that I'm not sure how to say. But like I say, see, I still have wet hair. I just got back from the gym. So there we go. Strange that pointing to direct copies of sources as they were published would be a problem. Forcing of the archive site to close down was needed to facilitate rewriting history. Yeah, kind of seems that way sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah. Smickle says, another thing I've seen people do for links with live videos is post them in the chat as they talk about them. Should stay in the archive chat and might not be looked at by a bot. Good idea there, Smickles, although there's no way that I'm going to be able to post things live in the chat as I'm talking. I got enough. I'm not a very good multitasker. I'm working on it. I'm working at being a better multitasker, but I fail a lot at that. Natasha says, I'm reading 1984 right now. Well, that's cool. Paint gun the cameras. Don't have a paint gun. If I had a paint gun, I would really want to make sure it was like fluorescent pink or something, you know, so it didn't look at all like a regular gun. You know, OX_00. I could hear the car that passed. Microphone doesn't catch it. Okay. The links to archives are great. I learned that from you a few years ago because stories get changed. YouTube might not like pointing to evidence. Weird. no worries, archive.org is closing down. Yeah, I've seen different things about that. I don't know if it's closing down. I should probably do a story on that and look into it. I've heard about that, but, you know, I don't follow through and read every single thing I think of, you know. So, yeah, that's what we got. Anyway, I wanted to tell you just a little bit about this book. Kind of a fan of Scott Adams. I don't agree necessarily with everything he says and everything he does, but this is a really interesting book. I'm going to do I got to finish the book because I want to do a review on it tomorrow. And so please look for my review on it tomorrow. I shouldn't have a problem with this because I know what the book is about and I've read like half of it right now. I should just be able to do a review on it, but I'm one of those people that thinks I should actually read the entire book before I do a review. I know. I don't know. It's something about me. I just like got to do that to my own detriment, right? Because I should get it out now because it's a brand new book and I might actually get some clicks. But anyway, but I will be reviewing that book tomorrow, and I will be back on Friday with a Fact Check Friday. And it was really interesting. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I was contacted to be a beta tester for something involving fact checking. And so I've been working with that for this last week. It's very interesting. And when I'm allowed to talk about it, I will. So that's kind of cool. So I've been doing some interesting fact checking on the side. Anyway, I hope you all have a beautiful day. And I'll be back live on Friday for a Fact Check Friday. Until then, peace.